Hello, Wisconsin, or wherever else you're checking in from. Thanks for stopping out tonight on a wonderful Saturday, super cold edition out there. If you are in Wisconsin or most likely anywhere in the Midwest today, want to get started here. If you can leave us a comment, let us know where you're from. Stop by, say hi, let us know you're checking in. That way we know who's watching. Tonight we'll be taking questions. Try to keep them appropriate, please. I know some of you guys are crazy, and you ladies. So let's keep it. Can we go? Was it PG-13? Like whatever 17 rated. We don't need to go too R rated. Just keep them legit questions. Just keep blabbing here. We're supposed to do a virtual sesh, but I was trying flapjacks. I think it was from Waldo. Before we started with the Dynavap, I got the Dynavap tuned in. Gonna be doing a little video on that here pretty quick. Show you guys how that works. Pretty neat. How simple it is and how great it works. So shout out to Waldo for the flapjacks. They smack. Want to give a shout out to Higher Love. Appreciate them being a partner with the podcast. We got the situation right above us here to help you out. If you go visit them, make sure you take that with you. Get yourself a nice little discount. Helps offset that tax. So get that on there. Shout out to them. Tabbies, thanks for being a partner of the page as well in the movement. We got a link to their website. Let me pull that up here quick. Who's out here tonight? Who's watching? Let me know where you're at. Who we got? It's going to take me a second tonight, too. I'm rolling solo. Get my wife the night off from helping. No, I don't make her help, but Danny with the first comment. Let's go. That should be, you should get something for that, man. Virtual bump, man. Fist bump. Let's go. Appreciate it, man. I always get nervous because it shows people are watching, but, Facebook's goofy. So comments help. Just make sure that things are working. You never know what you're dealing with. So, Melinda, hello. From East Troy. That's what's up. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate it. Hamburg. It's Hamburg. It's his Hamburg. What? That's my dad, and I think he means Amberg, not Hamburg, because he lives in Amberg. What are you doing, Dad? What are you trying to say here? Gonna drop a couple promo codes in the comments here for you guys. Get that pulled up. So first of all, real quick, here's a link to the store for merch. It's going to be at makewilegal.org/store. And then we've also got Tabbies. Make sure you give them guys a check out if you want to get stuff shipped right to your house. Use a promo code we got for you here. Right there, copy. All right, we got those in there for you guys. We got somebody else. We got a couple here. We got Sean from La Crosse. What's up, my man? Thanks for swinging by. And Heath in Fort Atkinson. Right on. Appreciate you guys stopping out. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who made it out to Lebowski Fest yesterday. It was an absolute blast. Appreciate everyone's support. Technology work for the most part. If you hang out here once in a while, me and technology are a touchy subject. So I had a thing up there, PowerPoint, some quiz stuff. It was pretty dope. So really appreciate everyone who made it out yesterday in our first event. So looking forward to doing more. What a day. Yeah, Waldo, no kidding. I don't know if you caught the beginning, Waldo, but I had your flapjacks or whatever before I started. And I don't think I'm going to be seshing while we're seshing because I'm good right now. I don't need any more. Waldo, shout out Waldo. Flapjacks, was that the strain? You told me to watch out for it. I did. I just still thought it was going to be a little less wacky. Ed from Brenhamwood. What's up, my man? Mark, hey, man. Mark with the explosions. We need to get them sound effects up and running. I need to find somebody who knows how to use audio a little better because I'm pretty generic over here. But Waldo says flapjacks is the bomb. Yes, I can attest to that. We'll drink our sparkling water with real fruit juice, blood orange. This stuff's delicious. But no, last night was awesome. Our first event, just kind of getting Green Bay, if you're not from around here or haven't visited, is very behind the times with cannabis. That's where I live. As I've been going across the state and started like with La Crosse, Milwaukee, Madison, seeing like consumption lounges or taverns that have hemp cannabis drinks with THC, and like I can't find any of that around here. So yesterday was pretty good last night as far as just kind of getting cannabis as a in a public forum almost, and even the bartenders that were working at the bar, they had a lot of questions at the end of the night, and was able to tell them about the product that's out there and stuff. And it was really neat to just start working in the community, even if it is a private event. As we had issues with the first place we were trying to go and stuff, cannabis still has that stigma, as we know. So great step in helping to end that. Thank you again to everyone who stopped out. Dad, Bobby Beans, what's up with the Yankee shirt? So I am a Yankee fan. If you don't know, I loved baseball as a kid, but I remember watching, and we're talking like 7 or 8, 9. I remember we'd go over to my grandpa's, and he'd always be watching the Brewers, and it's like boring to me. And but I always felt bad because I never really liked to watch it with him. And then I was staying over at a buddy's house, and it was the World Series, and the Yankees were playing, and it was like fireworks for me watching them. They won the World Series that year, and I don't know, it was just really exciting, and it just has carried and turned into this bit of an obsession. 162 games, love it. I love everything about baseball. Hey there, Sarah. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate that. Also, shout out to Senator Agard, our podcast that we got to do, or like our little sit down. I don't think it could have went better. It was awesome. I really look forward to sharing that with you guys. It'll be ready as long as the audio gets. I'm getting help with the audio. I went a little fancy because I wanted to be so as good as it could be for you guys. I got a little camera, got 2 little microphones. Well, somehow I changed some kind of setting that the one microphone on her was actually picking up my voice. I don't know. It's all there. Her voice is great. I'm just fine tuning my voice so that it's just you can hear it. It's not gonna be my voice isn't great, but I think I'm overthinking it too. So it's her message that is the important one. I'm just asking the questions for you guys. So hoping to have that out Monday. I will keep you posted on that. Waldo said a local bar of mine just started selling infused drinks, 25 milligrams. They only allow you to buy one per day, but buy all the tequila shots you want. Yeah, no kidding. Is that 25 milligrams of D9? I feel like that's pretty high. I like the 5 or 10. That's a good spot. I don't know why I always get thirsty when I come on here. Probably because I'm talking so much. We did have a couple questions that people had asked, sent messages for tonight. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Just having a little discussion, talking all things cannabis from last week. We did hear back from Representative Sortwell out of, I believe he's by, I forget which county exactly. It's on the eastern side of the state, not far from me here in Green Bay. And we're going to be shooting a podcast next week, Thursday. So shout out to him. Appreciate him sitting down with us, giving us a Republican take on things. Yes, D9 seems too much for a tavern style drink. 100% agree with that. Especially because the people that are working there, no offense to them, but they wouldn't know any better. But if somebody has a couple drinks in them, they should not have 20. Most people don't need 25 milligrams of D9. That's pretty interesting amount. But hopefully it goes over well. Hopefully they're well educated on the topic, and it helps open that door. So what's really cool, I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not yet, but Wade with Honeybee Cannabis, he's actually got a keg with the little handle, and the handle says like 420 and stuff. So pretty dope that it's starting to come into like the draft form of drinks. It's happening. So it's pretty dope. Tony, Bobby Beans, thanks for a wonderful time last night at Lebowski Fest. Had to leave early as I got sick, but it was a great time. Hey, Tony. It was nice meeting you. Thanks for stopping out. Appreciate it very much. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of that. They shouldn't mix either. Crossfade. Yeah, that'd be a lot. Well, like especially for somebody like myself, lower tolerance. But you can buy that same seltzer from the bar in a 4-pack at the liquor store, which is wild. Yeah, right. One day, guys. One day. All right. The list of questions that I had so far. You guys got to ask questions, just random ones, whatever you want to know. You want to know what kind of dog I got? You want to know my favorite song? Let's just chill. Let's kick it. Last night was so fun to finally meet people and it's hard with the page and the amount of people and everything. It's hard to not always just be talking straight around cannabis, but it was just really nice to sit down with some folks and get to ask some questions and talk here about their backstories, backgrounds. You know what I mean? It's just, I love you guys. So let's keep getting to know each other, having fun, like the higher love in Detroit. Yes, sir. Let's go. Don't forget to use the promo code above. They'll hook it up. Happy Saturday, Dalton. Thanks for swinging out, my man. Hope all is well on your side of things. All right. Question we had over here is, what is your experience with growing the plant? From John K. I thought I could pull it up on the screen, but apparently not. Growing is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I did so the first attempt was terrible. I didn't know that I had autoflowers, so they grow rapidly compared to your normal strains. And I was getting advice and I was asking questions as if I didn't have autoflowers because I didn't know that I did. So first grow was very rough because I couldn't felt like everything I did was wrong, which it was wrong. But it was a miscommunication. Second grow, I still did the autoflowers, but I tried growing autoflowers. I would say it turned out about 60% as far as 100% would be. They looked perfect at the end, the buds and everything. So it turned out about 60% of what I was hoping for. And then I did a second successful grow, and I'd say I was at about 80% success. Used like a scrog net to help the colas separate from each other so that they can reach and fill a little more. So definitely learned. It's kind of tedious. You want to check it every day, especially with the autoflowers because they're growing so fast. And I don't know. I just felt like I was always filling the dehumidifier, trimming, which it's not that, it's not terrible. It's not like it was super, like my arm hurt from doing it every day or anything like that. It's just a constant, oh shit, I got to go check the flowers today. And then through the whole process, you do kind of get a little closer to them because it's like, okay, this is good. And you look forward to smoking it. But like, man, for what I got out of my crop and what I can pay for it, it's just a lot of tedious work and the different nutrients and stuff. I think I'm gonna chill on the growing side for now until I can kind of learn the trade from somebody, perhaps. What do we got here? Waldo, do you make money from doing this? You obviously don't work elsewhere. Does social media support the travel? How is Let's Legalize funded? So right now it would be funded mainly by the podcast sponsors and the page sponsors. And then when we have an event, try to get a vendor in there where it's able to help them out. I can help them. And it's hard for me to like, oh hey, if you want to be a part of this and sponsor it, it costs money. It just feels kind of weird because I've never been in that predicament before with something I've tried to help make. And the biggest thing I learned in marketing when I was in business and with my knowledge of going to school for marketing and trying to help sales that I'm a part of in real life, so doing marketing, it was always like, what's my return on investment? And it's hard to tell what that is because if you spend $100, do you get 5 customers out of something? Can you qualify that that's a good deal then? Because you pay $20 for a customer, but you get a customer that's going to buy multiple times, so on and so forth. So I'm trying to be able to provide to people, hey, here's someone who uses your promo code got. I want anyone that's a part of it, I want them to feel like they're not wasting their money, that they're helping the cause, that they're also getting it returned to their business. So that's my main thing right now is trying to figure out how to do that best. So like right now, Higher Love, I would send them the viewership from each podcast, share that with them. They can see the code usage. Our first month we had, I think it was 72 codes used, which is awesome. But yeah, that's where we're looking right now is the sponsorship, and knock on wood, that's going pretty well because we're able to help the businesses out with getting their brands in front of the people of Wisconsin, which is obviously tough to do right now. Hope this doesn't sound impolite. No, you're good, Waldo. It's a legit question. And yeah, social media supports the travel essentially because that sponsorship funds. That's just what I use to travel. So I had technically started LLW LLC pretty early on, but I also did that as a marketing consulting firm because I thought maybe I'll just be helping businesses with their own websites and stuff, logos, packaging, that kind of stuff. But so what I do is I use that as the marketing and consulting, and that's essentially what the page is, the podcast is. When people are reaching out, I'm consulting them about marketing. So it works out good that way. And the only way that's actually tied to the page is because otherwise it's my legal name, full legal name in caps. And when we did that at first, then I started getting like hate mail and stuff sent to my house, which is just bizarre. Um, and thankfully, even in like the comment section of that, it's really started to tone down from people who are trying to like, you piece of shit, what are you doing trying to legalize cannabis? Blah 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 blah. Um, oh, it's getting better. Wallow Hemp Works following so that I can quit running a store for a corporation I'm not passionate about. Hey, felt that. Oh yeah, Serena, it was a pleasure meeting you last night as well. Appreciate you swinging out. If you were a car, what kind of car would you be? Bro, I would be probably my first car, dude. Like it just fit my personality. I think it was a 1985 Ford Bronco 2 stick shift, man. No rust though. No rust. It was from New Mexico. It was one of those you always had to give her a little extra gas so it would die out while you're trying to get around town and stuff sometimes. But my dad taught me to drive on a gravel road up north when I was 14. And like, yeah, that car just fit me, man. I wish it was still running. It was a tank. Wasn't super beautiful, but it wasn't rusty. It was painted like a primer color, and it was just solid, man. Like it always showed up to work. So I guess that's the car I would be. I'm looking to convert to like a Ferrari, but go to the gym, man. Go to the gym. No, I don't need to be a Ferrari. I just need to be a little healthier, or be in a little better shape for we're working out to start a family. So I don't want to wait too long on that. Getting the ball rolling, and shout out to Planet Fitness. Love you guys over there. Got to watch my laughing emojis today. Yeah, you do. Damn it, Waldo. Damn it. My first car was a truck, an 86 Mazda B2000. Let's go. All right. I respect that. Respect that. Do you hunt or fish? Yes, I hunt. So I started hunting when I was it 12 or 14? Dad, are you paying attention, Dad? I thought he was in here, but he might be sleeping now. No, it was 12 because I think 13 is when you could go or something like that. Super early on. My dad's always, since I can remember, he'd always go deer hunting, bow and gun. I got introduced to gun hunting. Well, he brought me along for gun hunting when I was 12, and he was able to. Oh, he said what? He's listening. How old was I when I first went hunting? Was it 12, 13? This is my dad. Oh, see, he's got a deer as his profile picture. Yeah, that's deer is big in the family. Deer hunting. My parents actually they moved up north and they have a deer stand built into their house. I am not kidding, and it's not like a hodgepodge built thing. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is ridiculous. They so when they the guy who built it and like in the listing description for the house, it said that it is an observatory tower, which is a very fancy word for deer hunting stand. Let me get that pulled up. So okay, so I was 12 when I started hunting, and he says, and you slept the whole time. Not the whole time. So quick funny story on that. Hey Danny. Danny says, hi, Dad. What's up? What's up? So quick story on that. I was not sleeping the whole time. I remember him waking me up. We're in the deer stand, and he goes, the deer are here. And I look, and they were like in front of us, but they're kind of far away. And I remember, dude, I don't know why I said this or what I was thinking, but I do remember saying, wake me up when they get closer and falling back asleep. But then woke up, shot the deer. That was my first deer. Been hooked ever since. Unfortunately, the last 2 years have been, I've only been out to deer camp for like a day or two during gun, just kind of with everything going on in the industry and thing popping up. Hopefully this year I'll be caught up enough to like, okay, if I don't super focus on the movement for a couple days, it'll be okay. But especially last hunting season or this past hunting season, I was in the transition of trying to start this to see if it was actually something that could be a thing. So definitely looking at getting back out there. Love hunting. Got questions my dad's got to ask. He's all about the old school hunting. Have you ever been to Road America? Not yet, and I can't believe I haven't because I've heard nothing but great things out there. And I, for some reason, I thought it was a lot farther away from me. So looking to get out there and check it out. My parents live north of Hawkins in a log cabin. Mom has deer on the wall that could make grown men cry. That's awesome, Matt. That's great to hear. My mom hunts too. They're a pain in my butt sometimes, but I love them to death. Ernie, what's up, my man? How we doing this evening? Oh yeah, this is the deer stand we built this year. So I don't know if you call this deer hunting for my mom, um, or what we're gonna call it. But how do I do this? Present, share screen, share screen. Yes, I'm sure. All right, so here's the deer stand we were building last year. That's my dad. I don't know what he's doing there, to be honest with you. He looks like he's trying to fly, maybe jump off the stairs. Those stairs were no joke. Shout out to my wife for understanding geometry and helping us with that. It was tougher than I thought it was going to be. Let me see if we can find the observatory tower real quick. No, I've got it here. I didn't believe my dad when he told me about it either, because I'm like, what? How are you going to build a deer stand into a house? Like, that just sounds rednecky, like a cardboard box on the roof or something. But that's definitely not the case. And I'm almost there. I can feel it. I'm looking through my timeline of photos, and it's going to be, hopefully. Whoop. There you go. All right. How do I share screen? Share screen. All right. So if you look over here, oh, I can't zoom in anymore. Seriously? That is the deer tower right there. It's a spiral staircase, and then up top, it's an octagon with 8 windows looking outside. If you can see it over there. Oh, I'm circling it on the other screen, but yeah, can't zoom in anymore. Very bizarre. But yeah, that would be the ideal hunting situation. I did that one year. It was really nice because you're up in the tower, and then just like 7 steps down is the big TV, restroom, fridge, whatever you need. So, shout out to them. They deserve it. They worked their asses off for a while and found a really good deal on a house out in the woods. So, love you guys. Thanks for swinging by. And stop sharing the screen. We got some more questions in here. Have you been to Amsterdam? No, I have not. To be honest with you guys, I run into the same thing I do with Vegas. I've not been to Vegas yet. I would really like to go, but I also don't know that I should go. I've gotten a lot better at controlling myself and that, but just like in high school in those early years, whenever I'd get into a situation like that, it's like, let's go, take full advantage of, let's do as much as we can. I want to stay up all night. I want to drink some, got to have drinks, got to try this strain over here. Oh, another dispensary. I'm pretty sure I'd be fine now, but I don't know. I still just worry about having all that much fun available at my fingertips. I just feel like would be I don't know if my brain could handle it. I do pretty good just hanging out at home and getting high. So Amsterdam's on the list. I just got finish maturing a little bit yet, I think. Hey, Susie, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your time. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going well with, I think it was your brother. Ever been hunting out of state yet? No, it's on my list. My dad's been able to hunt Minnesota quite a bit, Montana a few times. I have not, though, but I'd really like to. And I would love that. If anyone's got a hookup, I'll do whatever I can to help facilitate promoting the place or whatever. I don't necessarily know that I can afford a guided hunt or whatever out of state, but definitely be down for it. Sarina says, I got married in Vegas and I did a pullback, so that I remember it. Hello, I get it. You see, okay. I respect that. Hey, Jay, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. What about video games, Bobby? You play? I did. I played, I was a big Call of Duty guy up until about probably like 7 or 8 months ago. I have this thing where I just love being able to escape. I think it is, dude. I love competition. So the whole battle royale, all that kind of stuff. Love it, absolutely love it. And then I get into it though, and then it's like, oh, just one more game, one more game. Next thing you know, I'm spending like 4 hours a day, and it's like I can, but it's also, well, shit. That's I was able to kind of start coming up with the idea for this movement, and I'm just afraid I'll put too much free time back into it right now, so I kind of stick away from that at the moment. Hello from Windy Lacrosse. Hey, Barbie. Yeah, it's windy as heck out here too. The window, it sounds like it's leaking. It's like, I don't know. I didn't know I had a window problem until today. I might. I don't know. Apple or Android, we go with the best, the absolute best, the undefeated champion of this battle. which is Android. But why, Bob? I don't understand Apple. Because Android is open source. I love open source. And basically, what that means is if you want a charger for an Android phone, you don't have to pay a royalty to Apple. If you want a headphone jack for Apple, you don't need to pay a royalty. And then same with their software development, they're sharing. So LG developers are working with Samsung developers, are working with Google developers to all come up with an Android app, and it's just I don't know. I've always appreciated that and the customizability as far as Android goes. Susie says, hopefully my brother will have surgery this upcoming week after disappointing last week. Thanks for asking. Right on. I hope so too. Keep us posted. You're my thoughts and prayers. Zombies. Oh yeah, dude. Zombies are the shit. Oh yeah. Except because you don't have much downtime. Like you don't have to go to the gulag and stuff. So you just keep playing. I love it. Love zombies. How close are we to it being legalized? Most realistically, I still feel like it's a good, year or two at the most. But in my head, it still feels like with the amount of momentum we have as far as getting people's voices together, getting to the state capitol now, sitting down with politicians. Like honestly, I don't know. I can't say with any for sureness. But man, I sure would be surprised if we couldn't come up with enough. I mean, the votes are already out. The polls are already out there to show it that the support is there, so on and so forth. And I just feel like it is a definite lack of education at the state level. I'm really hoping this year, but I have no justification on that other than hope. And sometimes hope is my downside because I'll stick on something a little too long. But I think that's why I'm the right guy for this job because, especially when it's something that helps so many people, but then you're trying to tell us that it's bad. I can't just be like, oh, that's how it is. Okay, whatever. I'll deal with it. Like, I just cannot fathom the thinking behind it. So, AJ says Apple sheep, Android all the way. Apple's not bad, though. Apple, for simplicity's sake and sometimes for work, I am jealous. Apple has a thing like some people I text them and it says I'm in like this mode where I don't not going to respond to text unless it's urgent. I definitely wish Android had that because I would use that a little more. But yeah, I do love Android. Did the So interestingly enough, the Kratom bill, they tried it, or it sounds like the Dems added language to introduce cannabis to the Kratom bill. So I think the Kratom bill might have got handicapped. I don't know for sure, but that was my understanding was that they were going to be trying to add in cannabis rec to the bill. So we will see what happens with that. Is there really a lack of capital at the Capitol? Is there really a lack of knowledge at the Capitol? Okay, can't believe that. Yes, Apple has its place. So yeah, there's been quite a few offices that I've went into at the Capitol to meet with politicians, and they've said, "Did you know you're the first person to talk to us about cannabis?" And that just threw me for a loop. When I started, I didn't think I'd be spending much time with politicians for some reason. Um, Mainly because before I started going to the Capitol, I thought it was just like you didn't really get to talk to people. It was just going to be talking to like their aide or whatever. But it's been a pretty welcoming experience so far. So enjoy going down there, sitting down with somebody, and I feel like I have a pretty good BS meter and being able to feel like I'm having a real conversation with these folks and understanding that there are a lot of concern or a lot of misinformation on cannabis and a lot of lack of knowledge on especially the good side of cannabis. So it's definitely working on helping facilitate with that. Randy Johnson, what's up, Randy? Republicans don't care, removing them from office to get this done. That's the interesting thing. That's why I'm going to have a couple of the Republicans on the podcast because the ones I've met with so far say that they disagree with Voss's bill, that it's way too restrictive and stuff. So they need to do something then. So we'll keep the pressure on because yes, if people are going to just not listen to their constituents, they do not belong in office. Audrey says I lost my job over 8 years due to a racist cop giving me an OWI charge. Damn, dude. That is messed up. Where was that at? What town? Out of curiosity. What you think about NC and Florida going to ban CBD, THCA to stop the false label situations? Eh. So if they were to do it right, like what I've learned with government is they tend to overreact because they won't be educated on a topic, then they find out about something, and then they got to put the skids on it right away to stop all the bad, blah blah blah. Like in my opinion, if you're going to do it right, if it's really about the labels, well, come up with some labeling standards. It shouldn't take you more than a week to should only take a few hours to say, okay, what is the imperative stuff that we need to know? THC, CBD content, terpenes, testing, COA. Like it's not like we're writing a whole new language. So if that was really the case, you would hope that something could just be figured out a lot quicker than having to ban it, try to figure it out, or say you're trying to figure it out and then carry that out for a year or two. That's going to hurt a lot of businesses. Um, and same with Wisconsin. There's a lot of businesses that are in it for the right reasons and are doing it the right way. So the fact that they're just going to be shut down like that sucks. And that's the unfortunate thing about no regulation, because Wisconsin, all it's going to take is for one or two shops to sell a product that they didn't do their due diligence in, and it's some kind of a situation to arise on the effects of somebody taking that, and it could be a really messy thing for a lot of these businesses. So we need to keep sticking together and keep promoting the places that are doing it right. Do you see Voss getting reelected? Was this just a push for popularity? I think it was definitely a push for popularity, but I think it backfired on him. There were not a lot. There were a few people right after the announcement came out with his pill bill that didn't know. There was people that didn't know it was a pill bill and were going into shops in Wisconsin thinking that like overnight marijuana showed up in shops. Marijuana being the derogatory term for cannabis. And it's like, no, didn't you read what they're presenting? So I'm hoping that we did a good enough job of educating folks on what that bill was. And as you saw last week, he said, yeah, it's not where at this point it's dead. Well, no crap, it's dead, because you managed to take something that like 75 to 80% of the state wants, and somehow you got both parties against what you introduced and the people. Like, pretty stupid. I don't think Boss is doing too hot, and especially not from the people I talked to at the Capitol. I guess we'll leave it at that. So, in case I can't make it to the UP in the next few days, where in Appleton or Madison, what would you suggest for this seasoned consumer? Susie, if you can shoot me a message, I will send you a link. We'll get it right to your house. We got a couple of promo codes that will take care of you. Actually, I forgot. My wife left me the clipboard. I would go here. Let me get this. Drop this in the link for you. So Tabby's has got some great flour available on their website. And it comes from California. And yeah, you can tell it comes from California. And they got quite a few varieties. You can get some pre-rolls if you'd like. You can get flour. Give them a check out and use the promo code. They've also got great, I'm using a lot of the drink syrups. Great products on there as well. Audrey said Washington County. Gotcha, man. You should shoot me a message, Audrey. Shoot me a message to the page. I'm not sure there's much we could do for that from it already happening, but I'll do whatever I can to make sure that there isn't some kind of something that we can think of that might be able to help you, man. I got fired for 0.3 THC CBD from my job a year ago. Are you serious? So when we sold CBD full spectrum, broad, it would be like you tell people there's trace amounts of THC, so you still could get in trouble, but it's such little amounts that usually it's okay. But that was always a fear where I tell them, like, still, just know if you take this and they test you, you might fail. But like that's just messed up, especially if it's just trace amounts. There's got to be better testing out there to tell if people are using CBD or cannabis and not on the job. There's got to be a shorter window to tell how long stuff's in your system, and you can't tell me that there's not that technology out there. But I feel like they're making so much money on the rests and stuff, they don't want to do that right now. Like, why would you? And you're also kind of admitting that you were wrong for the last 100 years since you started this prohibition on cannabis. It's just super frustrating. It's super annoying. Get fired for 0.3% THC CBD. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Audrey said the whole situation was fuck. Lost job after 8 years of my license was suspended. Definitely, unless I take these classes no one told me about, which are over 600. Damn, dude, $625 for a class. Via fines and court costs. That is annoying. Man, yeah, that's what we're working on, man. We need to fix this shit. It's annoying. Mohican, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Waldo said, I've scanned product codes in legal states like Washington and Oregon that have had no results. Just because there's regulation doesn't mean everyone complies. 100% agree with that. You are correct. We need to legalize it because so many good things for us. Help make it happen. You're right, Joe. That's what we're going to do, man. We ain't giving up until it happens. All because I had THC in my system. Wasn't even high when I was pulled over. I smoked maybe 2 days before, but once that blood test came back, Washington County ruined my life. Damn. I was sorry to hear that, man. That is what we are trying to eliminate because, as we know, that is complete bullshit. 100% had the cops at my house. Even Jesus. Kenna, what's up? Thanks for swinging by. Hello, hello. Rhinelander, Wisconsin is the worst place to go with anything. Roger that. Crivets is pretty tight these days too. Um, Learned that one the hard way. Funny story. Josh, Joseph says, "Screw Wisconsin government." There are some good politicians out there, but I get it, man. It's frustrating, and we need to weed the bad ones out. And I'm going to try to be helping do that. Waldo, so what's the next step? Voss's bill is done and gone. What's up next? I think I don't know for sure, but I'm really hoping with getting some Republicans on the podcast and opening up about their apparent stance on cannabis. I feel like the majority of the Republicans want to legalize, at least just with the few I've met so far. They say they want to legalize, and they feel like it needs to be less restrictive than Voss's bill. And especially with voting season coming up, that's where, to me, this is a perfect time to be like, cool. So, well, what are you going to do to make that happen? Because we can't just keep blaming Voss. At some point, somebody's got to step up against Voss, and I feel like it's just going to take like the one domino. I feel like there's a few that are ready, and I would think you'd realize that would help your campaign when you're stepping up for something that the majority of the state wants, but your leader isn't for, it seems like, with Voss. But if you're speaking up for the voice of the people, you shouldn't be afraid of that in politics. But that's what it feels like is happening. So I'm hoping getting a couple on here talking about it, that some of the fellow Republicans can then kind of hop on and be like, well, we're just going with what he said. I don't know what else. I don't know. That's my thought. That's what I'm trying. Could suck. But if I'm getting people on here talking about cannabis, I don't think that can hurt. I don't know. That's my first take. The second take is if the maps get redistrict, I think that's going to help get. I mean, right now it just seems like the Republican Party just keeps shooting themselves in the foot on a lot of the bigger subjects. So at this point, I would say if the maps do flip and get less gerrymandered, I feel like it might get you a Democratic control, and I feel like when that happens, it should be legalized. Being that it seems like I talked to even the guy who said he would be the most conservative Democrat in the Capitol building, and he said he would sign Agard's bill today. So I don't know if it really is just the party issue, or we'll see. People got to start acting or being called out at this point. So Audrey said to reinstate my license with the OWI suspension was $200. Then to contact Impact and cost. Oh, jeez, I don't get it, man. That's crazy. Was $200, and then the classes cost $325. We got a class to help you, but you got to pay for it because we're the government. Like, what? Don't you just want people? Sherry says hello from Portage. Is there any cannabis friendly attorneys in Wisconsin? Like I knew of two in Arizona, both consume themselves and are hard hitters. I'm hoping to find that. I think. Waldo said Kirk Obear. I'll have to check into that because it'd be nice to have a cannabis attorney for the people of the page, the following, just somebody to reach out to if they got a question. I would feel like it's got to be, like you say, somebody who specializes in it. It's got to be a huge thing because, as we know, with all the laws and stuff around cannabis, it's a lot of gray areas out there. So I'd love to talk about how I was fucked over. Yeah, I'd be down for that, man. Definitely. Hit me up. Just message the page, and then I'll get you probably my phone number. We'll text or whatever the page messages. I don't know what Facebook did. They're always trying to change stuff. And now when you guys send a message and it's more than like a sentence, for some reason it cuts it off and I can't read the rest of it. I don't know. It's driving me nuts. So When is the next session? That's a good question. I don't know that they've said when that is yet. I will keep an eye out. Big Pharma is against legalization. That's what it felt like with that pill bill. It felt almost like it was set up where a pharmaceutical company was going to be making said pills, and that can't happen. That's just not fair to the growing industry, the farmers, um, and just look at the other states. Pharmaceutical does not need to be a part of it, but I definitely do feel like that might be the biggest issue in this state. Um, Still trying to dig up as much as I can, so I will keep you guys posted as I find that out. I don't understand how alcohol is less of a demon than cannabis. 100% agree with that. I can't even. I can't even right now. We're just gonna leave it at that. You are 100% correct. Todd, hello, hello. Hate to leave, but life calls. Bobby, love the podcast. Hey, thanks, AJ. You have a good night, man. So, as a shop, I have to have special card processing because of what I sell. So, these gas stations and now taverns have that stipulation. If not, they should. God knows how many card pressers I've got. Yeah. And I'm sure they don't because I'm sure they ring it up as just a drink. So, I get what you're saying. That is messed up. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Sad to see what the Wisconsin legislation can't see the whole picture, right? Definitely working on that. Todd says, why I am going to this format. What's the format, buddy? On YouTube? Them slapjacks are still slapping. Found them on Facebook. Awesome. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. All right. Well, let's get a couple more questions for you guys. Oh, yeah. That's what he said. Awesome. Gotcha, Todd. Yeah, Facebook is interesting. I'm surprised the page hasn't gotten in trouble yet. I try to keep it pretty, make sure there's no links to sales, this, that, the other, but it's like, I don't know. Every day I'm just still kind of nervous about it. It's just annoying how censored they are. Yeah, Facebook does censor the feeds quite a bit. Does feel that way. Word through the grapevine is Iowa is now a medical state. Have you heard anything? Somebody just sent me something on that. Let me pull it up quick. What was that? It said Iowa. Yeah, here's the article. You can't buy recreational cannabis in Iowa, but you can legally get high. But I think this might have been about the hemp products. Is that what this is? That's what that was. I'll have to look into that, man. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Check into Iowa. It's just crazy that all these other states have been able to figure it out. And for some reason, we're coming out and saying we've got the most restrictive bill and it's a good thing. No, it's not a good thing at all. Again, we're talking about a substance that and I don't like substance. We're talking about a plant that has medicinal benefits and you can't overdose from. And you should know, and that's what I'm helping educate. I'm bringing products that are sold in Wisconsin to show these folks because it's like there are great products in Wisconsin that give you the same effects as these other states. So I don't know what you're afraid of. People are already consuming it in the state. We just want to get rid of the junk out there because even if the hemp industry was regulated in Wisconsin and it was fairly regulated, you would be able to essentially get the same products as a legal state because you could get rid of all this other crap. There's a lot of places that aren't doing it right. So that's why we like to shout out a lot of places in the state that are doing it right. Because hemp and cannabis, the only difference is in the political testing. Essentially, it's not different strain, not a different species. It's just frustrating, super frustrating. Mohican said they have limited medical out there. Got it. Hey, Paul, thanks for swinging by, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good evening. Where are you from again, Paul? I don't know if I got to ask you that yet, but appreciate you stopping out, man. I have always foreseen Wisconsin dragging their feet on this while other states prosper. And like I keep telling these politicians, take it as a good thing that it took you this long, I guess. Like, let's just fucking change our minds. And hey, well, it doesn't suck we're this late. No, now you've got info from a bunch of states who have legalized. Let's look at the ones who are doing a better job. Like, Michigan, it's a lot more affordable for the consumer in Michigan compared to Illinois. So what did they do that in that way? But I think Michigan has a high startup cost for their grows and dispensaries, if I'm not mistaken. Where is there like look at all this data? There's so much data out there from states that have legalized. You don't have to just sit in your office and try to draft a terrible bill. Look at the data. Hire somebody to help you figure out how to do this the right way. It's stupid. Paul's in Sheboygan. Oh, right on, Paulie. Sounds good. Todd says gas packs hemp will knock you for a loop. Gas packs hemp. That sounds like it would knock you for a loop. Joel says loads cheaper. Yeah, it's not even night and day, bro. It's like a different month up there. Wisconsin made $3 billion off, or Michigan made $3 billion off Wisconsin, right? And especially, man, there's such a unique thing with Wisconsin and like the amount of farmers and stuff. Like, God, a cottage industry would be so neat where it's like I could just foresee like one farmer wanting to fine tune his own strain and then another farmer with their own strain and just like kind of like we do with IPAs at like festival. There's 40,000 options. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's Wisconsin is made for cannabis. It was the leading producer of hemp in the early 1900s. Like, it's made for cannabis. The state is. Let's fucking go. Bonnie says exactly. See, let's go. Bonnie says exactly. You don't mess with Bonnie. She's named after Bonnie from Bonnie and Clyde, I bet. Is big companies take over the marijuana markets and others, or is it still local? Well, that's what I would like to know. So I know, like right now in Minnesota, and one of their first legal dispensaries, everything they sell there is grown there too, which is cool. I like that take on things. I like the localized effect. I know, obviously, when we would first start out, when we first legalized, we'd probably have a THC. We wouldn't have enough THC production to meet the demand when dispensaries first opened. So we might have to collab with like Michigan or something. But I feel like you got to get the grow. You got to get it localized. It's just it makes too much sense. There's too much farm fields. There's too many jobs it brings. Too much. There's too many people trying to already facilitate cannabis to people in the state of Wisconsin to just let that pass up and let it be all big companies. Don't forget what you got here. Hops and pot are in the same family. Yes, sir. Right? Missing out on tons of money. Yep. We should be the next Michigan for the most part. We have the farmers and the passion. Exactly. Waldo says there's no interstate commerce of marijuana yet because it's federally illegal. States must make their own products. Yes, yes. The fact that I've never been arrested before and the first time was on my wedding anniversary after being followed by one police and then arrested. Damn, dude. That is crazy. No, dude, you're not venting. I feel it, dude. You're good. How does all this affect CDL holders? That's a great question. See if there's an article that pops up. That'd be too easy. Holders, cannabis. Because obviously it should be. It should never. Can you be a CDL driver and a medical marijuana user simultaneously? Legally, no. That's tough because of the lack of their testing methods. Cannabis, I don't know. You would hope there'd be a way in the very near future where you could just tell, just like you can with drinking. I mean, I feel like for the most part, you don't drive when you're high. It's just a tough thing to make sure people can't do that. So I'm not sure the correct answer to that, but it shouldn't be able to restrict people just because they have something that helps them. Paul says, I'm just scared Miller is going to get their noses in it like they did with craft beer. I heard that. It's cool to see Molson Coors in 2020. They came out with 5 different THC beverages. And to me, that's what I'd be doing if I was in the alcohol industry, would just be tapping into a new lineup. Like, it shouldn't be, I wouldn't be scared of, you might need to get educated. You might need to hire somebody new to help explain to you more about cannabis, how it works, etc. But embrace it and start figuring out. There's already lots of drink manufacturers work with some of these companies. Yeah, they should definitely not just try to restrict everything. CDL holders should only use broad spectrum or isolate based CBD. Roger. CDL can't have none. Yep, there you go. Alleviate Wellness says, bro, we're selling 250 milligram per piece edibles and 35% THC weed with no regulation. Literally sending 100 packs of cannabis via UPS and paying for it through wire transfers to the United States' biggest banks. It's bonkers. It is crazy, dude. Like there's probably gonna be a documentary one day once they kind of figure out just how Wisconsin has had to adapt to the whole THCA and Delta 9 hemp derived. Like it's been nuts. It's been nuts. I got 18 months of probation for cannabis. Damn. That's why truckers use coke. It's out of your system in 3 days. Jesus. The threshold is much smaller than a regular license plate, just like alcohol. Bingo. I saw a 300 count bag of gummies, no limits. Holy shit. 300 count bag of gummies. Hey, Audrey, you're good, man. We'll be in touch. You have a good night. Enjoy your time with your sons, and thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. But no, again, that's where, like places like Waldo, you need to keep doing what you're doing. Alleviate, keep doing what you're doing. We need there are people out here that are trying to do their due diligence and make sure the products are quality. Again, the hemp market has changed to be a pretty awesome thing if you can find the quality places out there and they're able to find the quality products. So work with them, even if you got to go up north or even if you don't find the product you need locally. I'm sure these guys would be happy to talk to you. We're all about cannabis. We're all about love for the plant, and we just need to keep educating. So, but I appreciate you guys coming out. Not gonna lie, still like I was out last night after the Lebowski Fest. Stopped and got a burger, played some games at the arcade bar thing with a couple buddies. Shout out to Maddie for coming out last night and talking about and sharing his story with the people. But I was out, I think, until like 11. I don't remember the last time I was out till 11. I'm a in bed by like 9:30, 10 guy. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm still pretty ready for bed at the moment. But I appreciate you guys stopping out. Is there anything that's something I'm looking into? If these elected officials care, why can't we get an initiative put on the ballot? I know you say that we don't have that right, but what gives? What do we need to do here? So the state wants to legalize. Great. We don't need the ballot initiative. Great. What do we need to do to legalize that? And we need to set that up where we can kind of put them on the spot. So, great show. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for stopping out. They do. It's sad, but I know a few, and that they have told me. Not that I agree with it. Hey, I feel that. But everybody have a good night. Thanks for stopping out. The Canna family. I like that. The Canna Familia. Oh, that sounds great. Should have been legal a long time ago. Exactly. Everybody have a great night. Spend some time with your family and friends. Smoke one for me. Drink one for me if you use your syrups. I love syrups, man. If you haven't found syrups and you don't know what they are, hit me up. I'll find you some locally somehow. Have a good night. Let's keep this fight rolling and rest up because next week's another week. Let's get it. Have a good night, guys.